So maybe you've heard that Pokemon cards can be really quite valuable. Or maybe you just love your collection. But whatever the case, there's no worse feeling than finally pulling that card, only to then accidentally scratch it. Or even worse, to bend it. So then, the single best way to keep your cards safe is to put them in a sleeve. But why buy them when you could just make them instead? What's up guys, Pokémon here, and welcome to the next episode where today we'll be doing just that, making our own Pokemon card sleeves, just like I've done right here. I think these turned out amazing, and honestly, after keeping some of my favorite pulls inside, these sleeves do just as good a job, if not even better, than the actual sleeves I've paid for. But that's enough of an intro. Without further ado, let's get right into the video, so that you can make some of your very own. Alright, so obviously the purpose of a sleeve is to protect your card, while also allowing you to still see it. We want to replicate this using materials from around the house, and it just so happens that a plastic bag is perfect for this. So, our first step will be to find a plastic bag. Something like a sandwich bag or a freezer bag. Any kind of plastic Ziploc bag that you might have, regardless of size, will work perfect. And once you've chosen your plastic bag, grab a Pokemon card. It could be any card at all, even the one you eventually want to put inside the sleeve. And go ahead and place that card inside the plastic bag, all the way snug in a far corner. Right or left, the corner that it's in doesn't matter. Just make sure that it's as close fitting as possible, and there's no extra space at all, so that your sleeve is the exact size of your card. Then, grab a marker, or a pen, and draw an outline of your card on the bag. Don't worry about making this line too neat or too straight. Just make sure that it's at least a little bit visible, and that it does a good job of sizing your card. If you don't have a card to trace, maybe you're making this for a future card, then you can simply take a ruler and measure out the dimensions, which for a Pokemon card are 6.3 centimeters in width by 8.8 centimeters in length, or 2.5 by 3.5 inches. But once you've got an outline of your card, it's time to cut it out. So grab a pair of scissors and simply cut along your lines. And now that your sleeve is finally free, let's tape it up. So grab some tape. Any tape that you have should work just fine. But if you happen to have some clear tape, that works best as it's the least visible. All I'm doing here is simply placing half my tape on one side and then wrapping it around to the other to secure it. But once you're done with the tape, you've got a sleeve, and you could be done here. But I also like to create a backing for mine, which gives it a little extra strength and also allows for some customization. So let's get right into that. Alright, so you've got your sleeve, now let's create a backing. Your first step here will be to choose the kind of paper you'd like to use. Any paper will work, but I'd recommend choosing something a little thicker, so that it gives your sleeve a real solid backing. I've got a piece of thick cardstock paper here. This is actually the exact same paper I used for my custom hand-drawn Pokemon cards and booster pack, as well as the sleeves that you saw earlier in the intro of the video. And once you've got your paper, go ahead and trace your card onto it, just like we did before. I wouldn't recommend using anything valuable here, as you might get ink or graphite onto it, so just use a common or uncommon. But I understand if all your cards are valuable to you, so if you'd like, you can also take a ruler and just measure out its dimensions, which again, for a Pokemon card are 6.3 centimeters in width by 8.8 centimeters in length, or 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And just like before, once you've got that outline down, take your scissors and cut it out. Once that's done, you should have a perfectly sized backing, which you can then go ahead and slip into your sleeve. Again, you could be done here, but I did mention customization before. And as you can see, I've got this epic Radiant Greninja here, that I actually did with pencil crayons. As well as this Blastoise artwork, that I did with paint. But of course, we can't have blue without red. So let's see if we can make an awesome Charizard to go along with this Blastoise. Alright, so let's get right into this drawing. For this piece, I'm remaking artwork from the 1999 Pokemon base set. But for yours, you can do whatever you want. You can create something entirely from your head. Or you can recreate already existing artwork, kind of like what I'm doing. You could even do the artwork from one of your favorite cards. Maybe even the card that you're putting in the sleeve. Now that would be pretty cool. But as you can see, I'm starting out with a light sketch of our Charizard. It's important to begin lightly, so that you can easily erase or fix any mistakes. And mistakes are inevitable, so don't get upset if your drawing doesn't look perfect right away, because it never does. In fact, mistakes are great, because with something done on the paper, it's easy to alter and adjust, until you've turned your mistake into something that looks great. If you are using a reference, don't worry if your drawing didn't turn out exactly like it. Of course, it's impossible to make a perfect one-to-one copy, but beyond that, embrace the differences and make your artwork your own. Now, let's bring our Charizard to life with some paint. Of course, I already did the Blastoise artwork, but in terms of Pokemon cards, it doesn't get more iconic than Charizard. Ever since the base set, Charizard has been the star of every single set he's appeared in. Although I'm sorry to Venusaur, he always seems to be forgotten, doesn't he? Let me know in the comment section down below, which of the 3 original starters are your favorite? Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur? But as I continue to dip my brush into the vibrant orange paint, Charizard's fiery form begins to take shape. As we approach the final stages of our painting, now is a good time to take a step back and to take a look at the piece as a whole. Assess its overall composition, and make any adjustments or refinements that you may notice. But with that, our Charizard is complete. So there we have it, our completed 100% custom and handmade Pokemon card sleeves. Honestly, I love the way these turned out, and I hope I was able to help you guys out in making some of your very own. But if you've got any questions, or you need any help at all, you can go ahead and leave a comment below. I do my best to answer every single one of them. Or you can also DM me on Instagram at Vidcoman. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And without further ado, stay tuned for the next episode.